Hi friends, we are outside in our yard. We thought we would come out and do another cooking video with you guys outside. I was just looking for my phone and it's already up here. I need to get it plugged into my charger because my phone's gonna go dead if I don't. So we are gonna make a couple of recipes for you guys, and I'm super excited because part of what we're doing, we are using some more of our stuff that we've got on clearance at Kroger. So we're making a lasagna skillet. So we're using a ground beef that we got. It was originally like $9 or something like that, and we got it on sale for $4.14. We also are using some sweet Italian sausage that we got for $2.80, and these are normally like $6 or $7.99, something like that. So we've got our cast iron skillet up here getting nice and hot. This is our Camp Chef camp stove. I love this thing. We take it camping with us. It has an amazing oven. We're gonna do some bread in there. We're gonna make this skillet up here. I know the view isn't super great, but it's hard to get a good shot of the skillet up here, but you guys will be able to see what I'm doing anyway. So we're just gonna start first off with our ground beef. I wanna get this meat started on here so that it can start cooking, and then we're gonna get started on our pies because those are gonna take a little bit of time in the oven. And so I wanna make sure I get these done. I'm gonna squeeze all of this Italian sausage out of the casings. I almost need the wipes.
Wipes?
Yeah. This is gonna be great. It's gonna give us some leftovers. So if you're just joining us, we're making a lasagna skillet. This is a recipe that we make while we're out camping. It's a super easy recipe. We can do this in our cast iron skillet. And you really only need to have like a bag salad to go with it if you want to, or you can do like just some bread, bring some garlic bread with you, or something that you can just throw on the fire. If you don't have an oven like this, you can do something like that. Turn this down just a hair. We were having trouble. We've got a lot of wind here today, so I hope you guys can hear me. But we were having trouble getting our burners to stay lit. And so we had this burning for a little bit, just trying to get the pans nice and hot before we started cooking. So we're just gonna get this last sausage out of the casing. I'm excited that we've been able to use so many things that we've got on the clearance section at Kroger. Recently, last night we did some really tasty roast beef sandwiches. Let me grab a wipe real quick and wipe my hands. That's the one thing when you're dealing with raw meat outside, you've got to have a way to get your hands washed. So as I told you, if you guys follow us when we're out camping, I travel with two of these. This is my favorite Pampered Chef product. And we travel with two of these in my camp tote that's over here on the side. I love them for doing ground beef, sausage, all those things. This is just the one from inside the house, but I do have two of these in my camp stuff. So without making you guys too terribly dizzy, I will move the camera over here in a second and let you guys see the meat mixture we've got going over here. Like I said, it's just some ground beef and some Italian sausage. So if you're making this at home, you can do like Italian seasoning if you have a bunch of seasonings with you, but typically people don't travel with a lot of seasonings, and so I'm not doing anything other than just what the seasoning is already in the sausage and the sauce or the seasoning that's in my jarred pasta sauce. If you don't want to travel with glass, you can certainly buy stuff in a can. You can take it and put it in another container from home, so you're not traveling with glass, but that's totally up to you. Whatever it is you want to do with it. But I want to start getting this meat cooked so that we can move on to our pies. Our pies are going to be super easy. And yes, we do make pies when we're out camping. We always make pie when we're out camping. After we got this stove and this oven combination, we started doing, we usually would buy like a Marie Callender's frozen pie at the grocery store, and we'll throw that inside this oven in here. It does a fantastic job with biscuits and all those things. So if you've jumped on, let me know. Hi Terry, welcome. Is it Beekaboo? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. So I'm also using another thing that we got from the clearance section is I grab these pie crusts. I grab these whenever I can find them at Kroger. I love to throw them in my freezer, and then I can just thaw them out as I need them. Makes it super easy when I don't want to have to make pie crust. So let me get this open real quick. And then we're gonna make our pies. I probably will move you guys over so you can see the pie over here when I start making it. Give this meat another so I'll move you guys over real quick and let you see the meat mixture. So there is our sausage and our ground beef. This is our Camp Chef camp oven stove combination that we have. This is what we take with us when we were out camping. Love this thing. My best friend had one and we had to get one after we saw hers because they are just super, super, super nice. So we're gonna move over on this side because I want you guys to be able to see the pies. Let me lower you guys down just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing down here. So this is the cutting board that I travel with in my camp kit. So I'm just gonna pull my, and I don't typically travel with a rolling pin, so I'm not going to roll this out either. I'm just going to use it directly out of the package just like it comes. If I'm at home, I typically will roll it out. But I'm trying to show you guys how we do this if we're out actually camping. So I have some strawberries. These are fresh strawberries. We picked these up at our local farm stand last week. So I'm just going to put in, these were really super sweet, so I'm not going to put in a ton of sugar. I'm just going to use my fork to kind of toss these. I'm going really simple because, you know, when you're out camping, you don't have a whole lot of stuff with you. I typically will travel with a little baggie with some flour in it. I'm going to put a little flour in here just so we end up with a nice thick strawberry filling inside our pies and we don't end up losing all of our filling. These are pretty juicy, so I am going to go pretty heavy with the flour. And if I know I'm going to be making something like this, I will chop my strawberries and just have them in my cooler ready to go. If I'm making pies while I'm on the road, I travel with my big ring so I can just cut these out. You want to be really careful that you don't overfill them. And I think we're just going to make 4 of these. That way I'm not using up all of my pie dough. So then you want to put your filling in on one side. Make sure you don't overfill. I think I got that one a little too full. We'll take a little bit of this out and put it on this other one. I think I got a little bit of the leaves in our strawberries when I hold them the other night. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and pull this up over the top, kind of cram that filling in there. I've got my fork, and we're just gonna fork the end of these so that we can crimp it, get it closed, shove that strawberry back in there. They're probably gonna leak a little bit because, you know, when you're out camping, you don't have all of the tools that you normally have at home, but it's gonna be fine. We're gonna be just fine like they are. So we're gonna get these. As I said, I think I got them a little bit full, but it's gonna be fine. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. We just wanna get them nice and crimped. I can hear our meat mixture up there. Sounds like it's about ready for me to move on to the next step. So let's get these crimped. We do have some vanilla ice cream in the house so that we can have a little bit of vanilla ice cream with our strawberry pies tonight. I am being a little bit messy with these, a little more messy than I normally would be. Pull a little bit of that filling out. And the nice thing is this leftover filling that I have from tonight, I can put this in the refrigerator and use it for later this week if I want to, or I can freeze it with the flour in it and then it'll be ready for me to use when I want to make hand pies again. So there's our 4 hand pies. I'm going to give my hands a quick wipe again. I'm going to move you guys again one more time because I want to make sure you guys get a view of everything. My stand is being difficult. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right, we're back with our meat. I'm gonna go ahead and stick my pies in our oven. Our oven is nice and hot. Meat still has a little bit longer to go. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask. I love answering questions when we're doing lives. I'm gonna prop you guys up just a little bit more. That's our dogs. They are definitely having a heyday with everybody walking around. It's been really nice weather here today. This is gonna be a super easy, super quick dinner to make. Everything's gonna cook right here in this one skillet. We're gonna add some pasta to our sauce, a little bit of beef broth, and this is just gonna be super tasty. I'm excited to eat this. As I said, we were having a little trouble getting the oven started because of the wind. We're having some wind here today, so it took us a little bit longer to get things ready to go. I forgot to bring a pot holder out with me. I'll leave a link for this meat chopper, or it's actually called a Mix and Chop. It's a Pampered Chef product, but I'll leave a link in the description box for that if you want to pick up one. As I said, I travel with a couple of them in my travel tote right over here. This is my kitchen tote for when we're camping. And then I have 2 in the house and a couple extras here and there, but so we went picking, or not picking, but we went and got fresh strawberries from our local farm last week. I'll leave a link in the description box for you guys for that video. We did a video last week. Went out to the farm, we got some strawberries, we got some raspberries, we got some peaches and some nectarines, some zucchini, whole bunch of stuff. And I'll leave a link in the description box for you guys for that video so you can check those out. But that's where these strawberries came from. Oregon strawberries are the best, in case you didn't know. I just want to make sure that my meat is all the way cooked, or mostly cooked. Even though we're going to put sauce in it, I still want to make sure that it's most of the way done before we move on. So if you guys have questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer questions. Yeah, if you have questions about our stove that we've got, let me know. Happy to answer those questions. If you want to check out one of these, they are super, super nice. I wasn't sure if I was going to get a live done this weekend. I sprained my ankle on Friday, and so I've been hobbling around for 2 days. But hubby was home today, and he was nice enough to help me get everything set up today so that we could actually do a live, because I hate missing my opportunity to do the lives during the week. All right, so we got another spoon here. We're going to start adding our other stuff to this. Just want to get this meat off of here. So I'm going to add a little bit, not all of this. I made about a cup of beef broth, but if you travel, you probably would just have a carton of beef broth or a can. We're just going to put a little bit in here to kind of help just deglaze this pan, but I also need some extra liquid because we're going to cook our pasta directly in here. So let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. So probably about 3/4 of a cup of pasta. And then I'm just using a rustic cut Barilla pasta sauces, or Bertolli and Barilla are my two favorites. If I'm going to use a jarred pasta sauce, that's the ones that I like. You know, I think I will use the rest of this beef broth. I'm going to put it in this jar so I can rinse this out. We don't want to waste any of that flavor that's in here. And then I'm using, so typically when you make a lasagna skillet, you're going to take lasagna noodles and you're going to break those up. We decided to use some bow tie pasta, but you could break up lasagna noodles if you wanted to. You could use some wagon wheel pasta, which would be kind of fun for kids, but hubby picked the bow tie, so that's what we're doing, is bow tie pasta. I am not going to use this entire bag. I'm going to use about half. Let's see where we're at. Oh, we can do a little bit more. That's about half. That's about a half a bag. So we're gonna stir that in. And what makes this lasagna pasta or lasagna skillet is I have some ricotta cheese that I also got on clearance at Kroger, our local Fred Meyer, and we're gonna put dollops of this as well as some fresh grated mozzarella cheese on top, and that's what's gonna make this a lasagna skillet. So basically it's going to have all of the flavors of lasagna, but none of the work because you're not layering a pan of lasagna, but you're going to have all that amazing flavor. I want to get all of this pasta stirred in here so that it's nice and mixed. And then it's just gonna cook. If you have a lid for your pot or for your skillet, you can use that. If you don't have one, you can use a piece of foil over the top would help it. I probably should have brought some foil out with me to cover it, but so what I love about this particular recipe is you can do this on a regular camp stove. If you have like a Coleman camp stove, I'm gonna sit for a second because my ankle's killing me. Oh my gosh, there we go. Okay, so you can use a regular Coleman camp stove if you want to. You can cook this over a fire pit if you have a fire pit at your campsite. We have, if you guys missed it, I will post a link in the description box for the last live that we did last weekend. We actually did a live cookout, and we got out our fire pit and our barbecue, and we grilled up some, what did we do, chicken? Oh yeah, we did chicken. We did honey mustard chicken, and we did some roasted potatoes on the fire pit. I'll leave a link in the description box for that one if you guys want to check it out. But so if you have a fire pit of some sort, you can do this on a fire pit. You could do it on a barbecue if you had to. You could do it, if you have a camp stove, like I said, any kind of camp stove, you can do it on that. But whatever you have to cook it on, put it in there, put it on your cast iron skillet and put it on there and just cook it, and it's gonna be amazing. This is one of these hearty dishes you can make while you're camping that's gonna feed a crowd. It's not super expensive, especially if like I did, or if you can get the stuff on discount at the grocery store. Look for deals on that kind of stuff. And then sometimes if you're gonna go camping, start looking at your grocery stores for sales and then make your menu around what you can find. We just did that for our last camping trip when we went to Nehalem Bay. We camped up there for 6 days, and I knew we were going camping. I'd known for a year we'd had this planned. And so about a month before, I started looking for sales on things, looking for things on discount. And we brought enough burgers for everybody. We brought enough ribs for everybody. We brought enough chicken for everybody. And it was super inexpensive because I took the time to look for those discounts at the grocery store and be able to bring all this stuff camping with us. So that is a good tip for you guys. If you're gonna go camping, start looking for discounts. Start looking for things on sale. If you're gonna do burgers or hot dogs or chicken or whatever it is you're gonna bring, start looking for those discounts and be able to bring stuff with you and save some money, because that's always a good thing. So I can smell our pies. They are baking up nicely in there. So because this is a camp stove, it's gonna take a little bit longer inside the oven. It's not like a commercial oven at home or like a regular residential oven at home. So you wanna make sure that you give enough time for this to cook, because it is gonna take a little bit longer. But we're gonna check our pasta. I know I dropped a utensil on the floor or on the ground. And one of my fur babies was checking it out. So we're just gonna keep stirring this until our pasta gets completely done. I'm telling you, it smells really, really good already. Pasta is probably going to take about 10 to 15 minutes in this skillet with everything that's in here. I also grabbed, hubby and I went to the grocery store after church on the way home to grab his lunch stuff. I always check all the clearance things. I did come home with some great clearance meat again, but they had this on clearance for $2.40 or $2.74. It's a rustic flatbread Italian herb. So I made up a little bit of herb butter, got some Parmesan cheese, and we're gonna make some Parmesan cheese bread to go with our lasagna skillet. This is something else that you can do over a campfire. Super, super easy. Mix up your, or just cook it like this. If it's a seasoned bread like that already, then just cook it like that. You don't have to do anything special to it. We just did it because we're at home. But I am one of those people that when I camp, I go all out. I don't do it halfway. So if it was me, I would definitely bring the stuff to do garlic butter on the bread. I would bring the Parmesan cheese because that's just who I am. So again, if you guys have any questions, let's let me know. I'm happy to answer questions as we continue to cook our lasagna and we continue to cook our our little strawberry pies that are in there. They're gonna be super, super tasty. Let me bring you guys in real quick so you guys can see the skillet with all the stuff in it. So this is our lasagna skillet. You can see the two kinds of meat we had in there. We have our sausage, we have our ground beef, and we've got our sauce with our noodles. It's gonna be super, super tasty. I can't wait to eat this. I love any kind of pasta. I am a big pasta girl. It's funny, some people are big into sweets. I'm a salty and pastas and breads and all those things. That's where it's at for me. So anyway, we can chat for a little bit while this is cooking. I need to sit for a few minutes and get off my ankle, and so we can chat for a little bit. If you guys have questions, if there's anything you guys want to know, ask me. We are trying to plan another camping trip. We thought we were gonna go for the 4th of July, but I didn't plan ahead, which I should have. Our Gracie girl doesn't like the fireworks around here. Our neighborhood is like living in a fireworks display during the 4th, and it's really hard on her. So we did not plan ahead. We didn't get a spot. Everything is booked around here. Unless I want to go to Eastern Oregon, which I don't. It's just too hot over there. I would rather go to the coast. So we're just gonna stay home. But we are going to try to plan a trip probably for August. Our anniversary, our dating anniversary is in August. Our wedding anniversary is in April, but our dating anniversary is August 31st. And so we may end up trying to plan a camping trip sometime in August and be able to head over to the coast if we can get a spot. And if we do, we'll bring you guys along with us, and we'll take you guys for the whole trip. Just like we did when we went to Nehalem Bay. We took you guys on a journey up the coast and let you guys see the ocean and everything there. This time we're gonna head south. That is my favorite end of the coast, is to go to the southern end of Oregon, around the Bandon. Gold Beach is really our favorite spot, but there isn't a whole lot of camping down in Gold Beach, and so we typically stay kind of someplace centrally located in southern Oregon on the coast. So someplace around Bandon or something like that is a good centrally located spot, because then we're only about, what, 20 hour, 45 minutes from Gold Beach? Yeah, so it's a pretty short drive, so we can drive down to Gold Beach and hang out in our favorite spot and check it out. Let's give our pasta another stir. I can hear it bubbling up here. I can tell the pasta's cooking, which is a good thing. I will leave a link in the description box for you guys for this oven if anybody wants to check these out on Amazon. We got ours about 4 years ago, I think, and it has been absolutely incredible every single camping trip. We have made everything in this. We've done pies in this, we've done biscuits, we've done, oh my gosh, what else have we done? Oh, we've done pizza in this oven when we're camping. We do, we love Mexican food, so a lot of times we'll do like Mexican pizzas or whatever, because we are just not people that do the normal camping food. That's just not who we are. So when we go camping, we do a lot of really good food when we're out camping. And this thing was definitely worth the money. I think it was, whoops. The wind caught my flame. We got it back on. I think it was right around $250 is what we paid for this oven 4 years ago when we got it. But again, I'll leave a link in the description box for this specific oven for you guys. If anybody camps and you're looking for something to take with you that does a really good job of cooking and baking and all those things. My favorite thing so when I do biscuits when we go camping, I use the Pioneer Woman biscuit recipe is my favorite, her buttermilk biscuits. So I do those, but I do her drop biscuit recipe. I'll leave a link in the description box for you guys for that recipe. But I do her drop biscuit recipe, but I still cut them out. So I make them, they're a little bit loose, and I drop them onto flour and kind of pat it so that it kind of gives me a good shape, and then I cut out the biscuits. And I put these on a sheet pan on parchment paper, and I let them go in the refrigerator overnight so they get nice and firm. And then I can pack these into parchment paper in a Ziploc bag or in a container so they don't get smashed. and just put them inside my cooler, and they're ready for me when I get ready to make biscuits, because we do biscuits and gravy. Hubby loves breakfast sandwiches. That's one of his favorite breakfasts when we're out camping. So then we have fresh homemade biscuits instead of doing English muffins all the time or something like that. We love a good homemade biscuit. And so I love having this recipe kind of just, you know, in my arsenal of things that we do when we go camping. I can whip it up super easy the night before and put those in the refrigerator, let them get nice and chilled, and then they're nice and firm when they go in the Ziploc bag or in the container. And they just travel really nice and easy in the cooler. So that's a really easy thing for us to do, and it's a good thing because it'll make like 12 biscuits, so that stretches for several days for us for breakfast sandwiches and for biscuits and gravy. And if we just want to have biscuits with one of our dinners, I usually will plan that in that menu too. I do a whole menu when we go camping, so I plan an entire menu. So I know everything we're eating for every meal. We don't typically eat lunch. We do breakfast and dinner when we're out camping, because for lunch we're usually on the road. We're usually out exploring the coast and you know, just hanging out. So while I'm talking about the coast, I mentioned last night in my video that I did, we did some roast beef sandwiches, and I did a short video for that one. And I mentioned about this new channel that I found for Cody and Kelly. They are a couple, I believe they're out of Arkansas, but they just did a trip about a year ago on the coast. And I've lived in Oregon my whole life, and I spent most of my childhood on the coast during the summer times for weeks at a time. And they showed me some places that I had no idea you could go to. So now we're excited to go back to the coast and go find some of these things that we saw Cody and Kelly do. So I'll leave a link in the description box for that as well if you guys are interested in checking out Cody and Kelly's channel. They are a sweet couple. They travel in a truck with a camper on the back of it, and they just do some fun adventures and lots of fun things to do. So go check out Cody and Kelly if you get a chance. Let's give our pasta another stir up here. If you're just joining us, we are doing a lasagna skillet. We have some Italian sausage and some ground beef in our cast iron skillet with just some jarred pasta sauce, a little bit of beef broth, and we're using a bow tie pasta. And we also are doing some little strawberry hand pies inside the oven. And I grabbed a thing of flatbread, and we're gonna put some butter and garlic on this and a little Parmesan cheese, and we're gonna throw that in our oven, and we're gonna have some garlic bread to go with our lasagna skillet. But this is smelling really, really good. I'm pretty sure my neighbors can smell it. But again, if you guys have got questions, please ask. I'm happy. I feel like I'm talking everybody's ear off because nobody's asking anything. So if you have something you want to know, let me know. Trying to decide what we're going to cook the rest of this week. I haven't made a menu. I am going to try to make a menu probably tonight with what I've got on hand and figure out what we can make, because we did get some more pretty good meat scores at Kroger when we stopped there after church this morning and grabbed some more things. And so I'm excited to make some more stuff with you guys. We've got some recipes that I want to try, so we'll see what I have the energy to do. As I said, if you guys are just joining me, I sprained my ankle on Friday, so I'm trying to be as careful as I possibly can and stay off of it and rest it as much as I can. I was on it a lot yesterday. We had a women's brunch at church, and I, of course, being me, I couldn't just do one recipe. I had to do 3. And so that was a little bit much. I came home last night and my ankle was pretty swollen, and I was on it a little bit too much. And so I decided to just take the evening and rest. But I did bring you guys along for some tasty sandwiches that we made last night. So if you missed that, I'll leave a link for you guys for those sandwiches. They're super, super good. Again, everything that was in that was something that I picked up at Kroger on the clearance aisle, brought it home, shoved it in my freezer so that it stayed nice and fresh, and then was ready for me when I was ready to use it. That's the nice thing about finding things when you can get them on sale. You can usually get some great buys on things, and you're able to just shove those things in your freezer until you're ready to use them. So I know it's a lot of up and down, but it's the only way I can do it. I'm gonna turn this down just a hair. My pasta is cooking, but it is gonna take a little bit. So again, this is a Camp Chef, Camp Chef, camp combination oven. It's an outdoor camp oven and stove, 2-burner stove, runs on propane. We just run it off of our big propane tank, and it does a great job on everything. We make everything on this. Pancakes.
It runs off the green bottles.
It does also run, hubby just reminded me, it does run off the little green bottles. So if you don't have a big 5-gallon propane tank, you can just bring along one of the little green bottles and you can put that on it, and it works just great on those as well. So you don't have to bring a big bottle with you if you don't want to. I might need hubby to go get me some more liquid.
Walmart?
Yeah, just put some water in that, please.
A cup.
Hubby's gonna go grab me some more. Will you bring me a piece of foil too, or just bring the foil out? I'm gonna see if we can cover this with some foil and maybe that'll help it cook just a little bit quicker. Our pies are smelling so good, friends. I can't wait to have those tonight with a little bit of vanilla ice cream. It's gonna be super tasty. So as I was saying earlier, if you don't have a lid for your cast iron skillet, you can always put a piece of foil over it, and that will trap in the steam. If you need something like pasta to cook a little bit quicker, you can just do the foil over the top of it. If you have a cookie sheet, if you have another cast iron skillet or another pan that'll fit over the top of it, you can just put that on there. I know a lot of people don't have lids for cast iron. So here is our water. Let's just add just a little bit, just to give us a little bit more liquid for that pasta to cook. Okay, that looks better. All right, I'm gonna pull my spoon out so that I can put a piece of foil over the top of this pan and let that pasta cook. And I'm probably gonna have to use my spoon to hold that on there so it doesn't blow off. So we're just gonna let that pasta finish cooking. If you're just joining us, we are making a lasagna skillet. We've got some strawberry hand pies. We picked some homemade some fresh strawberries last week. So we have some strawberry pies in the oven that we're cooking. We're gonna do some rustic flatbread to go with our lasagna skillet. And it's just gonna be a super tasty, super easy, delicious meal. So this is something, a typical meal that we would cook when we were out camping. Since we have this camp oven stove combination, this is what we bring with us when we go camping. We always have it. And it's just super great for doing all kinds of stuff. Biscuits, does a phenomenal job on biscuits inside the oven. It does a great job doing pies inside the oven. So there's been times, so funny little story. I think we were camping at Bullard Beach State Park over in just outside of Bandon, Oregon, on the Oregon coast. And we were out just running around, sightseeing and doing all the things on the coast. Hubby got a hankering for pie, and so we stopped at a local grocery store. We grabbed a Marie Callender's frozen pie. And granted, yes, because the pie was frozen, it did take a very long time. I mean, I think we put the pie in the oven at like 5, and I think it was like 8 o'clock before it was done. But that's because the pie was frozen solid when we picked it up at the store. And so this is just a little oven. It's not, not like your house oven. So it does take a little bit longer for things to bake. So you have to take that into consideration because it is just a camp oven. And so, but it was fine because we still were able to cook dinner up on the top, and we had a delicious dinner, and we hung out by the fire. And by the time the pie was done about 8 o'clock, we had digested enough that we were ready for a piece of pie, and it worked out perfect. We just had some whipped cream with it because it's hard to travel with ice cream. So we just grabbed a can of whipped cream at the grocery store, and we grabbed the pie, and it was a perfect little warm dessert on a cool night on the Oregon coast, sitting around the fire. It was pretty fun. So we like to find creative ways to do things when we're out camping at the coast. As I said, it's my favorite place to camp. We love being at the Oregon coast, and so that was one of our fun little desserts that we had while we were camping. But these little hand pies are great. if I'm gonna do hand pies while we're camping, I typically will make them ahead of time, and I'll freeze them in the freezer, and then I will pack them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the cooler. And they're gonna thaw while they're in the cooler, which is fine. And so then we just throw them in the oven when we're ready to have dessert. And they usually take about a half an hour, 45 minutes usually to bake them. If they're not still frozen and if they're not super, super cold, then they do pretty good. We just use a regular, just a refrigerated pie crust in it, and it works out pretty good. So they are smelling pretty good in there. Our pasta's smelling incredible. I will tell you that with this oven, that when you're running both the stove and the oven at the same time, it does reduce the propane flow. So if you're just using the stove up on top, you're gonna have a much hotter flow of gas up on top and a hotter burner up there if you're running the oven as well. Same with if you're using just the oven alone, the oven's gonna run hotter than it would if you're running the stove on top. So keep that keep that in mind if you're gonna get one of these and you're gonna use it. Just remember that if you're running both things at one time, it's definitely gonna, slow things down just a little bit, but it'll be fine. It's not gonna be a huge deal. Our pies are probably gonna cook, they're looking, let's get my pot holder. I wanna look at them and see where we're at. They're cooking. Let's look at our pasta again. I think putting the foil up here was exactly what we needed to do. Because it's giving that pasta an opportunity to really cook. Put my foil back on. Put my spoon up there to hold that down. I'm glad that I don't need my water anymore because I just spilled it. It's another good thing about being outside. Good thing we have another rack up here. So I think I'll take my foil, because I know that our pasta is going to be done way before our pie. So I'm just going to open my bread. That bread smells really good.
That was on clearance too.
That bread was also on clearance at Kroger. I'm becoming a pro at finding things on clearance. So I have a little bit of softened butter that I just put some parsley and some garlic and some onion powder and some Italian seasoning in here. It's already got some seasoning on it, but that's fine. So we're just gonna rub this down with some butter. Get lots and lots of butter on this so that it's super tasty. I hope we can get these pies done for the live. We may not be able to if they're gonna take a whole lot longer. I may just have to maybe do a short or something about when they're done, so you guys can see them after. Because I hate to make these lives too incredibly long. So I just grabbed some grated Parmesan cheese. This is also something that we would travel with. I'm just gonna open one end of it so I can sprinkle this on our bread. All right, we're gonna put this in our oven on our other rack. I'm gonna move it down one. So we're basically just looking to warm the bread. I don't know that it's not really gonna toast, I don't think. It might. I'm just gonna put it right in there on some foil. Let's check our pasta. This smells so good. it's not done yet. It still has, the pasta is still just a little bit al dente, and I don't want it that crunchy or hard still. So we're gonna let it go another, probably about 10 more minutes, and I just set in the water, but that's okay. I set in the water I spilled. So anyway, so friends, if you just are joining us, we're making a delicious lasagna skillet. This is a typical meal that we would take with us camping. We would cook on this camp stove with us. This is a combination Camp Chef outdoor oven and 2-burner stove. We got this on Amazon about 4 or 5 years ago. We take it with us every single time we go camping. It does a phenomenal job with everything, with biscuits. We do everything in it. It does an incredible job, and we absolutely love it. My best friend from high school, she has one, and they took it camping with us one year. We no sooner left the campground and I ordered mine because I told hubby I had to have one because it was that incredible. It does such a great job with everything, and so we absolutely love our oven. So we thought it'd be a fun opportunity to do a live this afternoon, this beautiful weather, and show off our Camp Chef oven and 2-burner stove, make a traditional meal that we would take with us when we're out camping, and do something fun. We've got some strawberry hand pies in the oven, as well as our garlic bread that I just put in there, just using a flatbread that I got off the clearance aisle at Kroger this morning when we stopped to grab a couple of things. And so yeah, I'm excited to eat this tonight. We typically don't eat on Sundays until we get home from church, and so it is almost 4 o'clock and we haven't eaten yet. So I'm hoping this is going to be done fairly soon so that we will have some delicious, this is actually going to be probably lunch dinner combination, because as I said, it's already almost 4 o'clock and we haven't eaten yet. So this is going to be our meal for the day. So let me check my pasta again. I want to keep stirring this because it's gonna stick if we don't, and I don't want that. And I actually think I might need a little bit more water.
Okay.
Since I spilled part of my water, I think I need a little bit more. So hubby's gonna go grab us some more water real quick so we can add a little more water. Let's try one of our noodles and see where we are with doneness. It's getting there. Super good. A little bit al dente still. So we're gonna add a little more water to this pan and let the pasta cook the rest of the way. Hopefully I don't spill it this time. There we go. All right, put a little water in there. Let's give it another stir. So to make this a lasagna skillet, I have some ricotta cheese, and we're gonna put some dollops of ricotta cheese on this, as well as some fresh grated mozzarella cheese that we've got, and that's what's gonna make it into lasagna. So this is a great way to have that nice hearty meal while you're out camping and not have to go to all the work of, I mean, we all love lasagna, but let's face it, it's a lot of work. We also have some delicious strawberry hand pies in our oven that are cooking and will be done hopefully soon. So I keep saying it, but if you guys have questions, well, let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have. If you've got questions about this or any of our camping gear, you know, where we like to camp, or anything like that, let me know, because I'm happy to answer those questions. As I said earlier, we are planning another camping trip hopefully in August will be the next time we'll be able to go. This next month is extremely busy for us. We have Vacation Bible School coming up the first part of August, and so this next month is going to be super crazy with helping my best friend Shelly, who is the children's director at our church, get all of the things ready for Vacation Bible School. There's a lot of work that goes into that. So that's going to be consuming a lot of my time over the next month. But that's okay. I love helping her. It's always such a blessing to get to help her in kids' church. Hubby and I did that this morning, so that was super fun. We were with the grade school kids upstairs in church, which is the 1st through 5th graders. And so they're always a lot of fun. Some of the answers you get to questions are hysterical. One thing that we heard this morning was super funny. We were asking the kids if they could ask Jesus any question, what would it be? And one of the little boys said he would ask Jesus how he paints the rainbow. And I thought, that is awesome. That is so cool. Ask Jesus how he paints the rainbow. That just made me smile. So that was super fun. So yeah, so we're going to be busy this next month getting ready for Vacation Bible School. And so that's going to be exciting. And so we won't be going camping until August, which that's okay. We're going to get through Vacation Bible School and do all that. And then we will take a camping trip before summer is over. We sometimes do an early fall camping trip because the weather here in Oregon in the fall time, early fall is not bad. It's still pretty decent. Not super warm, but it's not super cold either. And it still is a good time to go to the coast and be able to camp and do some crabbing and some fishing and all those things that the Oregon coast is known for. Turn this down again. I just keep adding water to this to make sure that it's not sticking to my pan. We've got lots and lots of flavor in here, so it's not going to dilute it. It's still going to be super tasty. I'm going to see if I can get this foil on here a little bit tighter. As I said earlier, if you're camping and you don't have a lid for your cast iron, you can always use a piece of foil over the top of it, and that will give you enough steam in there to cook whatever it is you're cooking. If you're wanting to melt cheese or you're wanting to cook pasta like we are today or anything like that, it's super easy to just put a piece of foil over it, put a cookie sheet over it. Any of those things make it easy for you to make a makeshift lid over your cast iron pan. My cast iron, none of my cast iron came with lids, and I would love to have some cast iron with lids on it, but we don't. Right now we just have, these are Lodge. That's my favorite cast iron pans. We love Lodge brand, and so we just use our Lodge. But you know, it just dawned on me. I wonder if the lids to Dutch ovens fit the cast iron pans. Do you guys know that? Let me know if you guys have any idea if the lids that go to the Dutch ovens, if they will fit on any of the Lodge skillets. I just thought of that as I was sitting here talking. That was something that just ran across my mind, and so I think I'm going to check into that and see if the lids will fit, because that would be helpful, because we do have Dutch ovens that we take camping. We don't take everything with us when we go camping. As I said earlier, I plan a menu, and when I do my menu, I figure out what pieces we need to bring with us, and then that's all we bring with us, because I don't like to pack unnecessary things because it's heavy. It's a lot. Space is limited, and the more stuff you pack, the more stuff you have to pack home. And by the end of camping, I'm already tired, and that's the last thing I want to do is pack home a bunch of stuff that I didn't use. So I've learned that over the years when we go camping. That's why I make a menu ahead of time, and I try to plan my menu, and I look at my menu and say, what equipment do I need? And I try to find things in the menu that I can use multiple pieces of equipment, so that I'm not bringing this piece of equipment just for one dish. It just doesn't make sense to do that. So we like to look at our menu and say, what can we use? What things can we use multiple times for this menu? And if I have to tweak the menu, I will, because like I said, I would rather not haul a bunch of stuff over wherever we're camping that we don't need because it's just a huge pain. So my truck usually hauls everything that we need as long as I don't overpack and as long as I don't bring a lot of unnecessary things with us. And so we just try to be really careful with that. That's where planning comes into it. I'm a huge planner. That's what I do. I used to plan and coordinate weddings. I did that for 5 years, and so I'm a huge planner, and so it just really comes natural to me to do I used to have a spreadsheet, and I think I said this once before, quite a while ago in one of my other videos. I had a complete spreadsheet that I made for camping that I had it broke down by everything, and I knew exactly, you know, what we needed to put where, and somehow that list went missing, and I don't know where, but it did. Our wind is blowing. I'm gonna put just a little bit more water. I can tell our pasta is very, very close. It's very, very close. I probably could have put just a little bit less pasta in this, but that's great. We're gonna have leftovers for tomorrow, so that's gonna be good. All right, I'm gonna put my foil back on. I'm hoping just a few more minutes on this pasta and it's gonna be done, and hopefully we will get to taste this pasta. I'm excited. So we did, so both the meats that we put in our lasagna skillet, I had to think. So we used sweet Italian sausage, and they were in links. We just took them out of the casings. We did ground beef. Both of those items were things that I got on Kroger at the, in the discount section. We're using a jar of pasta sauce. We're using a little bit of beef bouillon to add some extra flavor since we had to add liquid to this to cook the pasta. We're also putting in a little bit of this ricotta cheese right here. We're gonna put some dollops of ricotta cheese on top of our pasta. That's gonna give it the lasagna effect. I also have some mozzarella cheese that I grated earlier. So if you're taking this camping, you can, since this is in a container, it won't spill, you can throw that into your cooler. You can bring pre-grated mozzarella cheese if you want to, or you can grate it at home and just put it in a Ziploc bag or a container and pack that in your cooler with you to make this super easy to make at the campground. But this is a typical meal that we would make while we're out camping. We also did some bread that I got. I got a rustic flatbread from Fred Meyer this morning when we stopped after church and grabbed a couple of things that we needed for the week. And they had that bread on clearance, and so I grabbed that. Thought that would be super tasty with our lasagna skillet. I think our pasta is almost done. I'm gonna taste one more piece. I wanna see where we are with it. You can see our bow tie pasta. Feels like it's getting there. Yum. Super good. Okay, I'm gonna put the foil back on. I'm gonna say about 5 more minutes. And I think I'm gonna take this bread off of this foil and put it right on the heat, right on the rack so that it can finish cooking in there for us. That's gonna be super, super tasty. You want a nice good piece of crusty bread or some kind of bread to dip in your sauce, because you've got that sauce in your lasagna skillet. This is gonna be super good. Let's look at our hand pies. As I said, I don't know that they are gonna be done during this live. Yeah, they're not gonna be totally done. So I will, we'll finish the pasta on this live, and then I think I will just do a short of the pies when they are done. Hi Karen, so we are doing a lasagna skillet. This is a traditional meal that we would take with us camping. We're cooking it on our Camp Chef outdoor camp oven and stove. It's a 2-burner propane stove with an oven down below. And this is a traditional meal that we would take with us camping. We love doing this kind of stuff since I'm a chef. That's what I do. We don't typically just do your burgers and hot dogs. We do lots of fun stuff when we're out camping. So I love this oven for doing biscuits and pizzas and all kinds of things. It does a great job with all of that stuff. So we are cooking some little strawberry hand pies in the bottom of this oven down here on the bottom rack. And then we're just doing some bread. We're basically just heating this through. We put a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top. And so that's what's on the menu. Is this pasta is going to be super good. I think I'm going to turn this all the way down because I think our pasta is done. All right, I think we're going to start adding in a little bit of our ricotta cheese. This is what's going to go on top to give us that lasagna effect. I have my burner all the way down, as low as it's going to go. All right, I'm just going to use this spoon. We're just going to put some dollops of ricotta cheese all over this. I've got some mozzarella cheese that I grated up, but if you're taking this dish camping, you can by all means just use a pre-grated mozzarella cheese if you want to.
Hello.
I know hubby is starving. So there's our ricotta. Let's grab our mozzarella cheese. So as I said, I pre-grated some mozzarella cheese. Just gonna put this right on top. And I think we are about ready for plates. Or bowls, or whatever you want to put it in.
Do we have some right here? What do you want?
We can just use the little metal plates that are in that green kit right there on the porch if you want to. All right, I'm gonna put my foil back on so that we can melt our cheese. I think I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. Turn off the stove portion of it so that we can just melt our cheese. That's all we need to do. Our bread is almost done. Well, that didn't, I just noticed. We've had a lot of wind here today, and so the flame keeps going out on my oven. So that hasn't made things very easy. There's forks in that kit too. So we're just gonna melt that cheese. I'm gonna let my bread cook a little bit longer. I might actually move my bread down because I did not realize that my flame went out. So we're gonna go ahead and just put our bread down on the bottom. We'll give this pasta just a couple of minutes and then we're gonna dish this up, and I'm excited to eat this pasta. If you guys are just joining us, we are doing a lasagna skillet. We've got some bread in the oven. We're using our Camp Chef outdoor camp oven and 2-burner stove unit. We bought this about 4 or 5 years ago. We take this with us when we go camping every single year, and we absolutely love it. It is, I love it. We do everything on this thing, so it's a lot of fun to have with this when we're out camping. We're just gonna heat this. Shouldn't take too long. Like I say, I just put the bread on the very bottom so that it has a chance to get done. Our lasagna should be done here in just a couple minutes. Trying to time everything when you're camping to have everything done at the same time doesn't always work. I've tried multiple times and it doesn't always happen, but we do the best we can when we're out camping. Sometimes you're just happy to have food. I know that's us. When you're starving, yeah, it doesn't matter. If you have to eat one thing and then something else comes and it's done, then you just add that to it, and that's just how it goes when you're out camping.
You have other people.
Yes, it also helps when you have other people cooking too, and it's not just you. It's usually just us, unless I've got one friend that we camp with, and she loves to cook like I do, and so we kind of tag team the meal, and we each do a little bit of it, and so that always works out really, really well. But I probably should have put the bread in sooner. That was my mistake. But I think it's gonna be okay. We just need to get the bread basically heated through. I don't necessarily care if the mozzarella, or not mozzarella, but the Parmesan cheese on top is melted. I don't really care about that. I just want the bread heated through is what I'm looking for. So it shouldn't take too long as I put it on the bottom. And then our pasta should be done here in just a second. I did turn off the top burner, and it literally is just sitting here letting the residual heat. Oh my gosh, look at that, friends. You can see that cheese pull coming off of that foil. Oh my word. We're gonna just tighten this foil down just a little bit. It's just gonna take another minute or two for that pasta to get done. And then, as I said, the strawberry pies, they're not gonna be done on this live. So I will end up just doing a short of these things when they get done. I'll just do a short and attach it to this video so you guys can check out the pies. And as I said, I'll leave a link in the description box for you guys for this oven so you guys can check it out on Amazon if you guys are interested in it. This is our absolute favorite piece of camping equipment. We love our Camp Chef combination oven and stove. Has these little, turn a little bit so you guys can see, has these fun little shields on the sides, and those keep the wind blocked. These fold inside, and then the lid comes down. That protects the burners while you're in travel. And it has a fun little bag. I don't know where our bag is at, but it has a bag that this whole thing goes right in the bag, and it keeps it protected so that when you're taking it camping or you're storing it or whatever, it keeps it from getting, scratched up or broken or whatever. So that makes it super, super nice. So I'm glad I was able to get a live done today. If you guys are just joining, I sprained my ankle on Friday. And so the last 2 days have been kind of hard to get videos done. And so I wasn't sure if I was going to get a live done this weekend. I didn't get it done last night, but I did manage to get one done for you guys today. So I hope you guys will try this. I will leave a recipe for you guys in the description for this lasagna skillet that we're doing. Not really a hard recipe. You can add your own stuff to it. If you don't like Italian sausage, then just use all ground beef. If you don't want ground beef, use all Italian sausage. If you want to use ground turkey, ground chicken, whatever kind of meat you enjoy using in your spaghetti or that type of stuff, that's what I would use in it. But I just used what I had in the freezer because these are things that I picked up at Kroger on clearance. And so it was just, I'm trying to use up the things that I have in the freezer, and I had both of these meats in there, and so that's what I used. So let's look at our bread real quick. I smell it. It's smoking a little bit, which means it's getting hot down there. But I think this pasta is ready. Our bread isn't quite, but that's okay. We're gonna scoop up this pasta, and we're gonna try some of this. So let me let you guys see what this pasta looks like. All of that cheese and our bow tie pasta, and so So I'm gonna scoop up hubby some. I'm gonna let him take the first bite and try this. Look at that cheese. Look at all of that cheese right there. That's the fresh mozzarella. I'm gonna get him some more. We'll have some bread when it's done, but today's video was essentially about this pasta. The bread and everything else was just extra. All right, I'm gonna let hubby taste this first.
Oh yes, that's very good.
As I said, we haven't eaten anything today. This is the first first time because it's Sunday. We don't typically eat in the morning.
Tastes like lasagna to me.
All right, friends. So as I said, I don't think the pies are not going to get done before this live is over, and because they're cooking now, but they're not done. Our bread is almost finished, really close. We're gonna go eat this. I will do a short later this afternoon when the pies are finished. I'll do a short, let you guys check them out. You guys can see those pies when they're all finished. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this live as we did a fun camping recipe. We got to share our Camp Chef outdoor camp oven and stove with you guys that we love taking with us camping. It's a super great product. I'll leave a link in the description box for the Amazon link for that, guys, if you guys want to check it out. Feel free, if you guys are in the market for a new camp stove or whatever, feel free to check it out. And as always, friends, it means so much to me when you guys take time out of your day to come and spend time with us and see what we're doing, especially on a live video. We love hanging out with you guys and chatting with you. And so, friends, if you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button up there, hit that notification bell. And so you're notified every time we do a video or every time we do a live. You guys will be notified about that too. So hit that notification bell. And friends, we will talk to you guys in the comments. Have a great day and God bless.
God bless you.
Bye, friends.